I love pineapple. I love pizza. They don't go together.
And I think you know what I'm talking about. I bought a $5 cookbook about a year ago. Welcome back to the Kenny and Ponie Show. How's it going, Kenny?
Oh, man, things are going great. How about you?
Pretty good. A little technical difficulties. I haven't figured out all the tech. You're the guy on this, so we'll have to.
It's a work in progress.
Well, I understand that. I know there's a few things that you were wanting to talk about, but I did make a list of things to talk about.
Good, because I didn't. I'm just winging it.
Oh, well, good. Let's start what's going to happen next week. Next week is supposed to be the NFL draft. Okay. I just picked out 3 or 4 what I call unique players.
Okay.
Anywhere from a really good to sleepers. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's start with the sleeper first. I know you've been watching him. You've been watching him for 3 or 4 years. Then his last year he moved to OU and he was at OSU for 3.
Yeah.
His name is Kendall Daniels. He's from Beggs. He was a safety. He was about 6'4". I think he played around 215, 220 when he played at OSU. He's now 6'4", 240.
Mm-hmm.
He did the combine NFL scouting workout. He ran a 40 in like a 4.7.
Okay, that's not bad.
It's not bad. Here's my critique of him. Of course, I'm going to go hard in the paint with this one. I was upset that he went to OU.
True.
And so this is the reason why I can be highly critical. Okay. For someone that size, and he played in the secondary, I don't have a problem with that. Some people thinks he need to be playing closer up to the line, being 6'4" and all that, big guy, okay? My thing is I felt like he always played like he didn't want to get hurt. Instead of a Malcolm Rodriguez, throw your body around, make the sacrifices that need to make as a defensive player, he just didn't have that headhunter, Ronnie Lott, old school safety, and if you're big like that, you expect that.
Played too conservative.
Yes. It was the critique I always had with Deion Sanders when he played. Yes, he was a lockdown cornerback, defensive back.
Yeah.
But there was just some tackling issues there and some physicality. He was a break up the pass kind of guy and not really a headhunter.
Yeah.
I know people don't sometimes cringe on the headhunting, but that's what scares wide receivers. And being 6'4" and 240, and if another, Michael Irvin, Dez Bryant type are going up for the ball, 6'4", 240, you're supposed to be able to either come down with it or they're not catching it. Yeah, you're supposed to be that good. I think he'll go 4th or 5th round.
Maybe.
I don't think he won't. He may not even go any round at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he didn't shine as much as I thought he was going to, but there's a physicality to him that you cannot find with someone 6'4", 240. I think she's actually 6'5". So you're breaking up passes whenever there's a jump ball situation 30 yards down the field.
If he could have got that 4.7 down to 4.5, that would have made that would have 2 rounds better.
I think that he had it, but he didn't have the power.
Yeah.
Muscle.
Yeah.
Okay? And which I don't mind someone, and I'm sure coaches don't either, if the power's there.
If you're going to play in the secondary, you got to have the speed to keep up with those wide receivers, and those guys are running 4.2s and 4.3s. So.
And I just don't know.
Yeah.
If he fits a safety blitz package. because
It sounds more like I don't even know if a linebacker, maybe a defensive end or something like that. So
he's definitely a project a little bit, but um, the team I think he would go great with,
who's that?
Cleveland Browns. And here's why. Here's why. Todd Monken has taken over there now. He's an old OSU coach.
Yeah,
He likes, unique players.
yeah,
This guy's not going to fit standard defensive back. He's also not going to fit standard linebacker. He's definitely not going to be a standard defensive end or rusher. Okay.
yeah,
But he is a physical specimen. There's just no question. Okay.
yeah, yeah,
I think he was improperly utilized.
yeah,
That being said, he really needs to be more aggressive in his play. Okay, that's kind of my sleeper pick. I think the best player in the draft is not Mendoza, and I know
okay, yeah,
about Mendoza last time. I think the best player in the draft is a wide receiver out of Ohio State, 6'3", 195. His name is Carnell Tate. I think he'll go in the top 5.
hmm
Somebody will take him. He's really good.
He could probably go number 2.
One of the sleepers, I think he's the best running back of the class. It's not Jeremiah Love.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody likes the kid from Notre Dame. He was in the Heisman candidacy,
Right, yeah,
that running and all that. Okay, he's not the one I like. The one I like, physicality wise, that tops him. He's the fastest running back in the combine. He's from Arkansas. His name is Michael Washington Jr.
Mm-hmm.
6'2", 225, and runs a 4.33 in the 40, Kenny.
Yeah, that's smoking.
He ran 1,000 yards rushing last season.
Yeah.
Okay? He's big. He's fast. He's a one-cut runner, can run it and, do a 90-yard run, no big deal. Okay?
Yeah.
And he's big. He's big. I would love it if Dallas Cowboys is a Dallas Cowboys fan. Okay? That's how good he is. He's good. He's never. I don't think he had as good of a offensive line as he needed. Okay.
Yeah. If he was on an Alabama or an Ohio State, it's like he'd have been probably got a lot more notoriety. But
right.
Yeah.
But as he still was SEC. He still did 1,000 yards in the SEC.
True.
Okay?
That's no easy feat in itself. So
no, it's not.
Yeah. Regardless of the team you're on.
The big factor is his physical attributes. He 4.33 speed at 40 is just smoking, dude. Okay?
Yeah.
And as long as he's probably got 4 or 5 good years for sure as a running back, they take a lot. Okay.
So any players from the state of Oklahoma you think be in a draft?
Well, that's the one. Kendall Daniels one.
I mean, from the Oklahoma schools.
OU,
OSU, TU.
Kendall's the one that stood out.
Yeah.
There's a running back from TU, Dominique Richardson, but I don't think he shined on like he left OSU.
Yeah.
I
remember that. Yeah.
They beat us last year.
Yeah.
Okay, and he had a field day that day.
Mm-hmm.
But do I think he's draft worthy? No.
Yeah.
No. He'll be lucky to sign with some sort of practice team or whatever.
Yeah.
Daniels is the one I was really paying attention to because he had so much potential.
Mm-hmm.
That's for his physicality.
Yeah.
I just thought he was going to be especially he's from Beggs, and I was hoping,
Yep. Somebody fairly local.
Fairly local. But he's going to have to turn it on. I'm not saying it's over for him. He's just going to have to show up.
He'll for sure get on a practice squad somewhere. Because I know 2 or 3 guys from the local area that's at least on practice squads at different schools. So, most people probably never heard of them, but they're practicing. So,
okay,
and drawing a paycheck. So I mean, they're drawing a paycheck from NFL teams. So that's more than what most people could say.
The other really good wide receiver that I scoped out, I thought he was really good. He comes from Washington Huskies. He's a Washington State product.
Yeah.
6'4", 210. a wide receiver named Denzel Boston. I think he's really good. I think he's probably the next best behind the Tate kid as far as wide receiving. But
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about the sleeper quarterback. I did some research on this one.
All right.
I want him to go to the Dallas Cowboys
You
because if
want you want all the good ones to go to Dallas.
I mean, I'm a fan. Okay, so here's the thing. Dak Prescott. I've always been critical. I've never considered him to be really the elite quarterback, and he's definitely not shown it because he hasn't won a Super Bowl. Just that simple with
Yeah,
Dallas Cowboys.
he's not a franchise player.
Dallas Cowboys criteria for championships is we win Super Bowls. That's just the one. If you're that's how you get on the Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I would say that seeing how Dak has had injury issues, the quarterback that fits the mold closely to what we're running as far as offense is is going to be best for this kid from Georgia Tech,
Mm-hmm.
who a lot of people are saying he's kind of like a Johnny Manziel but faster. He runs like a 4.46 in the 40. He's faster than Johnny. Okay, he's about 6'2", 215 from Longview, Texas. His name is Haynes King, and he's never really shined it on very well. I think he was at Texas A&M first. Then he went to Georgia Tech, and then I think he did pretty good there in
Okay.
the ACC. But is he, number one? Is he a first rounder? No. Is he a third rounder? Maybe not.
Yeah.
But it's worth
Somewhere at three or four, somewhere in there.
maybe even fifth or sixth round. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But he's somebody that can run, and he's got a cannon of an arm. He's just a little bit accuracy issues when he's on the run, but that's because he's scrambling. I mean, so if he has time, he probably could really do some good.
He could be a good project for a special teams coach.
Well, he'll be a great project for someone who's not hard. Okay, and we need to learn the system a little bit. And this is the guy, Haynes King. I think he's a good backup. I just throw that out there for the money. What you're going to be able to get him for a draft. The teams what they're looking for. He's not bad.
Yeah,
not bad.
Mm-hmm.
You got to watch these Brock Purdy's. That's the guy who literally went the last pick in the 7th round or something, and end up
look where he turned out.
Starting quarterback. Yeah. You see, you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
This guy may act differently with a different line of scrimmage in front of him.
I mean, Patrick Mahomes, he didn't really go. He wasn't one of the top picks, was he?
No. In fact, OSU beat him a couple of years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it just depends. You get the right player with the right coach, and they can build you up. There's a lot that can be done. So
I definitely want to throw a shout out because I know we talk more men's sports than women's, but the OSU girls softball girls have won.
They beat OU yesterday, the top ranked team in the country. OSU is 14th, but yeah, OU is number one. How many national championships has OU won in the last decade?
Several.
Yeah, most of them in the last decade. So yeah, the OSU Cowgirls beat them. Then the night before the night of the Storms, OSU men beat OU in baseball at One Oak Field in Tulsa. Now the game is called early, but it's still after the bottom of the 8th. So it was only one more inning left, but they was up 7-3. So then it was called because of weather. So OSU baseball and OSU softball both big wins this week. So
yeah, that's the OSU girls. They got this one pitcher that they brought in from Omaha, Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one who just won the Bedlam game, and she can throw.
Yeah,
she can throw. Boy.
Yeah,
for underhanded throwing, she can throw.
Yeah,
it's
wicked,
crazy good.
One of these, as I keep saying, I want to go up and watch one of their games one of these days, but it hasn't happened yet. So,
me too. I haven't had a chance. Really, one of these days I will.
Life,
sure, at some point. I got a question for you. Someone is asking me about preferences, and I know you're a horse person,
Hmm.
so I'm going to ask you this: what is your favorite color of a horse? Or do you like just sorrels? What is your favorite? What do you think
Ooh, color of horse.
color? Classic.
That's going to be a tie between solid black. I'm talking solid, like not a white stocking, not a white spot in the forehead, nothing. The solid black or chestnut.
Chestnut.
Hmm.
I like chestnut too.
Yeah.
I I'm more of a. I've always kind of liked the John Wayne type, which is blaze face,
Hmm.
white stocking,
Yeah.
and sorreled or dark brown, whatever. That white pops.
Yeah. We had a horse growing. I was growing up like that. His name was Tony. He was best roping horse my dad ever had, and he had a blaze on his face, four white stockings, and kind of a wasn't black, but he was a dark, real dark sorrel or dark shade, so dark shade of brown. So
A lot of those sorrels that are descended
mm,
back to Go
yeah.
Man Go have you ever seen the with the coon tail on the top of the head of the tail? There's
Mm,
stripes. That's usually Go Man Go blood.
yeah.
You know, it goes all the way back to
Yeah.
him.
And gray horses that are gray, I throw in there with like redheaded women. Just you don't
Most
know what you're gonna get.
most of them are super fast though. I
Yeah,
mean,
they're fast. Yeah,
as far as athleticism,
yeah, yeah. We
oh,
had a couple growing. When I was growing up, we had a couple that were gray like that, and they weren't bad horses, but you better be careful when you climb on top of them.
I do want to throw this out to people who are first time horse owners because sometimes you run into this, and I'm sure you've heard this trick. Well, a lot of people don't understand first time horse owners or people who never been around them. They don't belch.
No.
They can pass wind, fart, gas, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They don't belch, so they can develop a condition called colicking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's usually a very
It could
painful.
kill them.
It can kill them, painful and
Yeah.
intestinal. And the hack is this, and I'm sure you know it.
Oh, yeah.
Get them in the trailer, get them in the horse trailer, and drive them down to between 5 to 10 miles of the bumpiest Oklahoma dirt roads you can find. Okay, when you're finished with doing that, the usually the outcome, and the successful outcome, is there'll be feces from top to bottom in the horse trailer where that horse had just went everywhere.
Back whenever I did have horses and I would put them in a trailer, I guarantee it, like clockwork. Load them in the trailer, and before you got to close that door, they were already, using the bathroom.
You bet.
I mean, it was automatic. There was no like, I wonder if they're going to or no. It was going to happen. They were going to go to the bathroom as soon as you got them in there and got the gate, their stall gate, whatever, closed. The first thing they did was went to the bathroom.
Yep. So that
So
it's
mm,
a. I know there's medication you can give them a
I've
shot.
I've had to do that. A shot. Well, I had to have a vet come out one time and he run a tube down his nose and poured the basically mineral oil in his
Yeah.
stomach, and had to wait 30 minutes, whatever. And I was walking him, trying to run him around the pasture as much as I could. And next thing you know, he just started exploding. But yeah,
Yeah.
so
So you know what I mean.
yeah,
So it's a good trick.
mm-hmm,
You know, it doesn't completely take care of everything. Usually, you got a feed problem. Whenever that goes down, whenever the colicking, sometimes you got a feed problem.
feed problem or and I had whenever this happened to my horse, there was no change in feed, but it might have been a difference in the hay quality of the hay.
Yep.
So quality of the hay, or changing of the season, the allergies. Like horses get allergies,
Right.
So and I don't remember the time of the year whenever this happened, so I don't, I can't tell you what happened there, but yeah.
I but since it's been raining so much and my garden idea has suffered. Okay, I'm down to where I'm going to cheat and go to either Lowe's or Atwoods and get the starter ones and put it and plant those in there instead of from everything from seed. Fact,
If you're going to start tomatoes from seed, that should have been done in February. So
right, so
yeah,
that's I'm
yeah,
doing everything,
yep.
throw it out
Hmm.
there already. So that kind of tells you everything. But no, we still got to send another. The mayor's got to be checked in 14 days to see
Okay.
the bread. So that's been going on too. Uh, just seeing what else I want to really talk about. One other thing, and I did have friends weigh in on this, and I know you're into farming and ranching like
Hmm.
most of us and everything. I asked them the same question, and boy, I got all sorts of answers. So ask you this one: if you're trying to raise cattle in Oklahoma with Oklahoma climate in mind,
Hmm.
what are the breeds that you prefer? What do you like crossing them with, and why?
Probably a limousine cross cow
Okay,
and a maybe like a Hereford or an Angus crossed bull.
gotcha. Okay, I'll tell you. Okay, the answers I heard from out west, they all love Herefords and Angus.
Yeah.
Black Baldies
Oh
eventually
yeah.
you're getting. Okay,
Mm.
but I did hear this from them. They said, well, there are some people that do this. They get that going with what either heifers or young cows, right?
Hmm.
They get a low birth weight bull, whatever that is,
Yeah.
whatever
Your Herefords or your Angus. Yeah.
whatever breed that will be,
Hmm.
and one that does a low birth weight. Okay, they raise several rounds of calves in a 2 year span with that low birth weight bull, right?
Hmm.
Then they'll sell it.
Yeah.
Okay, then they replace it with a beef master. Okay, so they can throw.
Those are so big.
uh, Well,
Yeah.
they make sure that
But
the
the cows have been conditioned, so yeah.
cow's been conditioned,
Hmm.
and they are meant to sell. Those calves coming out, they really don't keep them.
Yeah.
It's more of a get 2 or 3 seasons out of them, get rid of those calves because they're gonna grow fast and they're
Yeah.
gonna put on some good weight.
Yeah.
And then, but to revitalize your herd, you need to go back to a low birth weight
Yeah.
bull.
Yeah.
So it's like you're talking about a 10 year span there, probably. Okay.
Yeah.
Of
That's changing out. That's changing out bulls and cows an awful lot. So,
mostly,
but I mean, if that's your livelihood, you're gonna do what you got to do. So,
yeah,
and
most
to keep from inbreeding.
right, mostly bulls, not as
Yeah.
much as the cows.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're
Hmm.
going to get rid of all the males, so that's
Yeah.
not
Oh yeah.
an issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Question is how many of the heifers are you going to keep?
Hmm.
Would be mixed with the beef master.
Yeah.
Some do, some don't.
Yeah.
They do most of the time. They make sure they buy a low birth weight bull on those Beefmaster first time heifers for sure.
Yeah. You've got to,
Yeah, there's always issues with
or
that.
you're going to be out there pulling the calves. There, every single one of them. So,
One breed you never brought up, and they brought up they like is
Simmental.
Charolais.
Charolais. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Simmentals are a massive. They're massive animals. So.
Okay. Here's a local favorite. I'm they're okay. Uh, Western Oklahoma guys gripe about them.
Mm-hmm.
They're called tiger stripe cows.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not
Here's
familiar with them.
okay. Tiger stripe cows are this. This is what they are. They're Bremers mixed with Herefords,
Okay.
and you're getting that. You're getting that kind of the red white look of the Hereford, but when you're doing Bremer with them, you're also getting the stripes in the dark parts of the.
I could see that in Western Oklahoma because Brammers have a good heat tolerance.
Well, they don't like them.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like a
Oh,
more over here.
really?
Yes.
Because
Okay.
Brammers have a good heat tolerance. They can tolerate different climates pretty well. So
So yeah, they like them more over here.
yeah.
And my thing is they're fast growers, and
Hmm.
but the big thing is, and I'm sure you real recognize this with the breeds, they're very resilient. You can't hardly kill them once they get to a certain level, like especially after coyote raised where they're
Hmm.
they can't get killed by predators.
Yeah.
Okay, anything like that, they're you just can't hardly kill them by heat or
Natural disaster.
cold. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're very resilient, and I've heard
Yeah.
that all the ranchers talk about that. They're like, you can say what you want about them, but they're resilient. I was like, okay,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
but but as far as like commercial people, they don't really like them as much, and I don't know Western Oklahoma. It's interesting. So
Maybe because they put on as much pounds
probably
because there's not as much weight to sell.
right. They're
Because
all
Brammers are really a smaller framed animal. So
Western Oklahoma is always feeding. If you ever, I don't know how much you dealt with them, but they're always doing winter wheat grazing.
yeah.
A lot of it
Hmm.
that we don't
Yeah.
have over here. That's
Yeah.
not
Well, that's the only thing they can grow out there is winter wheat.
pretty much
So, and that, it's cheaper to do that than it is to feed them, all spring. So,
right. So that's. I just thought it was an interesting question.
yeah.
I prefer Herefords, uh,
Yeah.
but Angus does well here too.
Yeah.
But I prefer Herefords.
What our farm here, we've always done limousine or limousine cross cows, and then would get a good low birth weight bull, whether it was a Hereford or an Angus or something like that, to breed and they just leave it like that. So
Somebody was wanting to ask me about Hawaii talk. There's some people going to Hawaii soon,
okay.
and I don't have anything good other than the food stuff. Here's what I bought a $5 cookbook about a year ago. I found it at Books a Million over in Fort Smith, Arkansas. Okay,
Hmm.
it was like $5. Is the reason why I got it. It only had one recipe in it that I was interested in, and it's great. And I'm ashamed to say it. I bought an Oprah cookbook. Okay, all right, here we go. It has a recipe called pineapple shrimp fried rice in it, and it's wonderful.
That sounds good.
It is good.
Yeah.
Okay, the first time I ever had pineapple shrimp fried rice, I was in law school, and there's an Asian part of town in Oklahoma City on Classen Street, Classen Avenue, I guess
Hmm.
it's called. Okay, and the first time I ate it, I was like, "This is wonderful." I was like, "Surely, if I go to Hawaii, I will find it." I finally found it at this mom and pop restaurant that was connected to a hotel in Honolulu, and my dad was staying there when I was moving in there,
Hmm.
first moving into Hawaii.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
Okay, so and I'd go back there every once in a while because it's it's really the
Good.
only
Yeah.
most fried rice doesn't have a sweet taste to it. This with the added pineapple had kind of a sweet taste to it. It was really
Mm.
really good. So there's my shout out to
Mhm.
Hawaii, and I don't even remember the name of the mom and pop stop, but
Yeah.
pineapple shrimp fried rice. Whenever I see it, I think of Hawaii and I think of Oklahoma City. Actually,
Yeah.
they're one of the few people that cook it. But the pineapple's always fresh in Hawaii. It's the reason why it's really good. You know,
Yeah.
straight
I've
from.
never got to eat fresh pineapple. I've never got to eat fresh pineapples or fresh bananas. So
Everybody has to go to the Dole Plantation when you go to Oahu. Okay,
yeah. Yeah.
you go there. It's the
Mm.
family's been there since the beginning of the statehood. They're one of the families that are what they call the syndicate there. Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Hmm.
connected to everything. Okay, and you go in there. It's I always get the pineapple whip. All right, which is the pineapple ice cream. Okay, and
Hmm.
that fresh pineapple chunks in it.
Hmm.
It's it's a diabetes waiting to happen.
You're right. See, everybody thinks I don't like pineapple because I hate on pineapple on pizza so
I don't
much,
like it either.
and because I will on social media, I'll throw memes and everything else about hating pineapple doesn't belong on pizza, and everybody thinks I hate pineapple. Nope, I love pineapple. Pineapple is one of my favorite fruits. Do not put it on a pizza.
I know.
I love pineapple. I love pizza. They don't go together. So,
in fact, one of my biggest critiques of Hideaway, and I know everybody loves Hideaway from Stillwater. It's a Stillwater thing.
Yep.
I was one of the ones that didn't really care for it. I admit it. It's the sauce, and the sauce is sweet. Okay, that's that. Last time I had it, it was sweet.
Yeah.
I prefer more of a little saltier sauce on pizza than sweet. Okay, and it just I don't know. It's just
a little more savory, not sweet, but more savory.
Yeah, it's something about it.
Yeah,
never really cared for it.
Have you had the pizza from what's those convenience stores now in Muskogee?
Casey's.
Casey's. Have you had pizza from Casey's?
No, but I heard they're not bad.
Try it sometime.
I heard they're not bad.
Try it sometime. Yeah, they're pretty good. They're sauce. They have a very unique flavor of sauce, and I like it too. So.
What's weird is Simple Simons could beat a lot of people. The ones I have over here.
The Simple Simons here in Fort Gibson is just amazing. So,
you can go anywhere in the world and you come back here and I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I mean, you can go to the best places there are, but you come back here and it's like, get their chicken alpine pizza and buy some extra pineapple, extra alpine sauce and put on top of it.
Right.
Man, that's good stuff.
I always get extra cheese.
You're gonna make me want to call and order a pizza after we get off this podcast. So.
Yeah, I had lunch today. That's the only meal I've had so far. So I don't know what I'm gonna do tonight, but I'm sure I'll do something. The health thing, and I'll go into a little bit about this. My health is just now bouncing back, if you want to call it that. Okay, one of the reasons why I retired early. I lost a lot of weight. I feel better, but I still have issues with digesting stuff. It just tackle Hamlin's every week, or real hard,
Hamlin's every week's hard on your intestines.
Yes, it is. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I would like to, but I can't.
Yeah.
I love spicy food. Love spicy food.
Okay? Yeah, me too.
I could used to eat the hottest stuff out there, but not anymore. So
I was at the chili cook-off this past weekend in Muskogee, and they had a hot wing eating contest, and it was sponsored by Buffalo Wild Wings, and they were trying to get me to enter it, and I was like, no. And they said, oh, come on. I said, trust me. I can go. It's nothing for me to go to Buffalo Wild Wings, order the hottest wings they have, and just gulp them down like it's nothing. I'm not entering a hot wing contest because in 6 hours I want to be sleeping, not sitting on a toilet. So
but yeah, a lot of people,
because that's what would happen. But yeah, I love hot, but yeah.
One of the reasons why I address it is because I know a lot of people are wondering why I'm retiring so early or semi-retired.
Yeah,
it's a health issue. But now I'm starting to feel better, and I don't know. The thing of it is I just have to. I have a very strict diet now. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
Okay? And if I want to maintain feeling better, I've got to keep this up. That's what it boils down to.
Well, and you've got options too. You could do some freelancing.
Yeah.
For attorney work or whatever. So
yes. Yeah.
Maybe not full time, just kind of a cherry pick what you want to take care of. So
yes, I've got also have other health issues too.
Yeah.
That I'm not talking about. It's nobody's.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Can I tackle the job of Chief of Cherokee Nation? Yes, not a problem. Not a problem. Do I need to be running for president of the United States? No.
I don't know why anybody. You have to be mentally ill just to make that decision. man, the what it's going to do to you. Yeah. But yeah, I get it. Yeah, that's
It's a higher calling it's supposed to be. Yeah,
even governor of a state, is going to be, not quite the level of president, but still, you got the entire state looking at you.
for sure. You got the whole entire state looking at your family too. That,
They're looking at your family. They're looking at everything you've done. They're dissecting every school you went to, every grade you made in school, every, you know, they're looking to see if you've ever been pulled over by a cop for a ticket or what anything. So
it's one of the reasons, though, why I never did an expungement on my
Yeah.
on myself. I have
Mm-hmm.
the ability, I have the power, I have the license. I could have done it all, Kenny.
Yeah.
But I believe if you're really going to try to be a public servant, you need to be able to talk about all the things you've done, good and bad.
Yeah.
And to show an expungement, in my opinion, shows that you're hiding. You're hiding.
You're hiding something.
You're hiding something.
Yeah.
Okay. I've not expunged anything.
Yeah.
And if they want to talk about it all, let's talk.
Yeah.
Can my
Gotcha.
can my opponents do the same? I don't know. Probably not.
I mean, I would hope that everybody's on a level playing field, but you never know.
I don't think they can.
Yeah.
Even the ones that are in there now and the ones that
Yeah.
are thinking about coming up, a lot of them cannot do that.
Yeah.
You can't run from auto accidents. You can't run from crimes. You can't run from anything like that. I think you know what I'm talking about.
I mean, you can get it expunged, but the fact is, it happened.
You cannot run from it.
Hmm.
You can't flee a scene.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yep.
You know where I'm not even naming specifics, and I think you know what I'm talking about. You can't do those things.
Yeah.
There's too many phones now. All that you got to be your stand-up person, and if you're going to skimp away behind something and try to hide, you're not the guy. You're not the gal.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
You got to sit there and take it.
Yep.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
So
I mean, it happened regardless of what, legally, whatever's on legal documents doesn't matter. If it happened, it happened. So.
and you can't dodge it.
Mm-hmm.
Females who remarry you can't try to rename take a different name to get out of it.
Yeah.
You need to be able to own everything you do.
Mm-hmm.
Good, and whether you get past it or not, that's up to the voters.
Yeah.
Okay, but you should tell everybody what happened and what you did.
Yep. So.
There's two examples out there that I'm not going to go into. I know you're sitting there thinking about it. One of them did the right thing. The other one didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're going to see how that plays out with voters this fall.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as far as disclosing is concerned, you've ever been in a situation where you think you need to disclose, hey, this happened. This is, if someone's never going to ask you about it, that's fine. Okay, you don't have to address something no one's going to ask you about. If it happened 30 years ago, whatever, right?
Yep.
Even if they do ask you, you really need to talk about it.
Mm-hmm. True.
That's just my opinion.
Yep.
Anyway, throw that one out there.
Moving on, huh?
Moving on. By the way, it's not that I'm not addressing this on the veteran VA clinic that we talked about last week.
Mm-hmm.
I just haven't heard anything back from Cherokee Nation.
Okay, I was wondering what's going on. Yeah.
May have to inquire a little more.
Yeah.
In a different way.
Yeah.
Let's see how that goes down.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to make sure I've talked to everything. Oh, go back to horses one more time. I want to talk about this.
Yeah.
Someone asked me a question about it, so I'm going to answer it. Someone asked me, what is the fastest horse you've ever seen? And I can tell you when it was. I was probably 10 or 12 years old. It was parimutuel betting had just taken hold at Blue Ribbon Downs at Salisaw.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've been around horse racing, Kenny, so everybody knows this. I've been around horse racing since about 5 or 6 years old. Grew up going with my dad every weekend to the dirt tracks over at Wildcat Junction. My dad actually raised and trained racehorses part time while he was a banker. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
he only did a couple of them, but then we started hiring trainers. But we've always owned them. But we actually trained his own at the beginning. Uh, this was already by the time the parimutuel racing had already kicked in, and there was a futurity called the Hopes and Dreams Derby. And I'll never forget this. There was just this kind of a shorter, statured, looked like a bulldogging horse, and his name was Pocket Prophet. He was out of he was what they call an appendix, which means his dad was a thoroughbred, his mama was a quarter horse.
Mm-hmm.
The thoroughbred he was bred to was a horse by the name of Count Giacomo. And I remember thinking, man, all these other ones are in the paddock, kind of taller and prancing around, and he was just sitting there sullen in the paddock in his stall while everybody was watching him. And my uncle leaned down in my ear and goes, he's very calm because he's going to beat him by 2 or 3 lengths. And I was like, are you sure? He said, don't bet on anyone else. And I couldn't bet personally, so my grandfather would put a bet in for me.
Mm-hmm.
I remember putting in like a $5 or $10 win ticket on it. And I remember my uncle's friend, who was a son-in-law of this guy, a coach that we knew. His name was Gerald Ellis,
Mm-hmm.
son-in-law at the time. I remember him showing me a ticket. He said, "This is how much confidence I have in him." It was $100 on the nose to win on this. He said, "This is how good he is," and I was like, "Okay," so I bet him. When they took the picture, the photo finish of the race, he was the only one in the picture. Kitty had outrun him by like 4 or 5 lengths. There was no other horse
Anywhere close.
in the photo finish. It was like a 350-yard race.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, quarter mile. Yeah.
Yeah, quarter horse
Mm-hmm.
mile, and he was that fast.
Wow.
I just couldn't believe it. And I don't think I've ever seen another horse just outclass another 9 horses like that.
Mm-hmm.
He was tremendous. And I think he won pretty much every race they ever put him in after 3 years of age. And he was a gelding. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's the fastest horse that I've ever seen run, and just out. It was unbelievable. And he was not the biggest horse of the bunch. In fact, he was probably the smallest horse.
And that's why you'd think come in last place is a small one. So
yes, all the other horses were at least 16 hands tall.
mm-hmm.
And
He is a 14-hander.
yes, he's probably 15 flat.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, maybe
Mm.
15
Yeah.
flat,
Yeah.
maybe. Okay, the other ones for sure in the 15 range.
16 up. Yeah.
Big ones, and all probably what I call 3/4 appendix, which means they were 3/4 thoroughbreds. Okay, they had a lot of high blood in their lineage. Okay, so but anyway, Count Giacomo's Pocket Prophet is the fastest horse I've ever seen run.
Huh.
Yeah, do you have one? Do you have one?
Nope. I'm not big enough into the horse racing to just have anything like that. I do know when I was a kid and I was doing like the barrel racing and pole bending and all that. We bought a horse that had previously been on the racetrack, a thoroughbred. He was a thoroughbred though, and probably the calmest demeanored thoroughbred you ever seen. But man, that sucker, he was the fastest horse I've ever ridden, and he could flat light it up, running barrels and all that. So, but as far as do I know a fastest horse I've ever seen? I don't have that insight.
I've got a lot of different track memories. Some of them
Mm-hmm.
very crazy track memories. Like, you need to understand, before parimutuel racing, there's no telling what happened in the paddock. I mean, I remember this. I'll tell you, and it's not a good story, but it is what it is. Okay, I remember I was in Tahlequah, and Tahlequah had a dirt track kind of like Wildcat Junction.
Mm-hmm.
Wildcat Junction's over kind of by Henrietta. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Telequal had one too. And what people used to do to drug the horses in order to get them pepped up, they would hit them with this stuff called Redolent, which is stuff given to kids
Kids, yeah,
to
calm
actually
them down.
down.
Yeah,
Opposite effect on a horse.
yeah,
Okay. Something itching.
yeah.
Anyway, it calmed them down. Well, I literally saw someone mainline the neck to a horse in the paddock when I was a kid. I remember my uncle was there, and he leaned down in my ear. He did that a couple of times in my life on instances similar to moments like this. And he told me, he goes, "Remember this." He said at my ear, "Remember this. Always remember this. You'll be the only time you'll ever see it in your life." And I was like, okay. I didn't understand the significance of it because I was young, real young. Okay, not a teenager yet. Okay, and I do. I remember there's another time he did that too. We'll talk about it later. But
Yeah.
but my uncle said, "Remember this. You won't ever see this again." And I haven't ever seen it again. But I've been around what I call wildcat races on quarter horses, where they were literally injecting them in the main line right there before they even hit the track, right there, the track. And did it make it any difference? You know, I asked Dad about what he thought about it, and he said horses sometimes are pea-hearted, is what he called it, and that means they have no heart. Okay, when some horses will completely stop running if they feel any pain at all. Okay, all the hop, they call it hop. All the hop does, or the medicine does on a horse, is allow a horse to run full strength, full speed, full whatever they have without hurting.
Yeah.
That's it. Whatever they're capable of doing, the theory is that's
It's like
what
inject them with adrenaline.
right. They're not going to make them faster
Yeah.
than what they're physically capable of
Yeah.
running. But whatever they're physically capable of running, it is going to allow them to top out. Okay, that's the theory behind it.
Yeah.
Okay, but we're not big. You know, some people are big, what they call big on the medicine. Some people are, some people aren't. I can tell you that's one of the reasons why some of them are permanently banned. Like Bob Baffert had a problem with that in thoroughbreds. He was running on medicine. And most people want to find that edge. They're cheaters. I mean, it essentially is what it is. Okay, but now that they have ways to hair follicle test them, the horses, okay, not as many cheating.
Yeah. It's kind of going away.
We're going back to genetics again.
Yeah.
You have good genes in your horses, and it's showing. I mean, that's the thing. There's no quick fix to being a champion. You really need to have the ability to get there and to get there several races. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
So
I remember that same horse, that thoroughbred that I was running or riding. I remember on 2 or 3 different occasions, I'd see Dad come out maybe 30 minutes before we were supposed to go do something on him, and he gave him a shot. And I would always ask him what he was doing, and he was like, just trying to calm him down a little bit.
Yeah.
And it was ace, and later I found out it's called acing them. So
yeah.
And so give them something called ace, and thoroughbreds, they get hyped up and want to kind of go a little crazy, and that was something that. And this horse, he was probably the best, the calmest thoroughbred ever been on, but he was still doing that anyhow. But yeah.
Another medicine, they call it bute. Bute.
Yeah.
Buterol or whatever it's called. Bute.
So yeah, probably albuterol.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's what they give. That's another one they give. That's a breathing treatment in humans.
So yeah, back in the day in the 90s, they had this stuff called elephant juice, and it was made out of a derivative out of elephant urine.
Okay.
Supposedly it was undetectable. I think they figured out how to detect it.
Oh yeah.
But at one time it was undetectable, and that's what they were giving them. Okay. I've heard all. I mean,
all kinds. Yeah.
If you look around this stuff, you hear it all. when I was younger, I saw it too. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I was at the track all the time. They weren't hiding it back in the 80s. There were
Yeah.
no camera
Yeah.
phones there, Kenny.
Yeah.
They were doing it. Nobody's going to care. This is not licensed. The
Yeah.
track. Well,
Now they got security cameras everywhere now to catch you too. So
I, I,
and
well,
and
the,
blood tests and hair tests and all that. So
the Latino community has match races still, though, and it wouldn't surprise me what they're probably no telling. There's no regulation in that one. I just
yeah.
see that way.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever they're trying it all.
Yeah.
More than likely. There's just not a PETA standard guideline for that type of track racing.
Mm-hmm.
Not. It's not going to work.
Yep.
Won't be there. And I'm not even involved in that. If it's not professional and it's not licensed, I'm not dealing with it. That's been the big.
It's like dirt track car racing.
Yes. Either stick to NHRA or NASCAR,
or NASCAR. Yeah.
or get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, go big or go home.
Yep.
Not gonna get down in the dirt race.
Yeah.
People are like, well, he just doesn't want to have fun, or there's more money. Da, 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 da. Yeah, there's also a cartel membership involvement.
Yeah.
And things of that nature.
A risk of staying alive.
Huh?
A risk of staying alive.
Right.
Yeah.
Illegal chicken fighting, things of that nature. I'll try to stay away from that.
Oh, chicken fighting, that doesn't happen in Oklahoma.
No. Never.
I was back whenever I was hauling mail. I'd haul a lot of mail in the middle of the night, and I went to this one particular post office, and it was in Cherokee County. It's as far as I'm going to go with where I'm going to. But
Right.
This guy would always at work for the post office would show up, and he would, take the mail in and all that. We'd sit there and visit for sometimes 20, 30 minutes, just because we had time to kill. And he said that somebody asked him one time if he wanted to go to a legit actual chicken fight, not like one of these little backyard things, but like a real deal. And he's like, sure. And he said, okay, meet me at like midnight or whatever, like in the middle of the night at some certain place. So he did. They went, and he said we drove out as far as we could go into the boonies. Then we got out of the vehicle and walked for like a mile out into places where you couldn't even get a four-wheeler. And finally, he said we got into a spot where it was like trees thatched over, creating a like this coliseum, but it was the trees that was growed so tightly together that you couldn't penetrate through it with binoculars and nothing. He said there was a little opening we had to go through and get in there. He said we went in there and he saw crowds of people gathered around, and that guy said, and the guy that took him stopped him and said, I guarantee you there is more cash right here than there is in Cherokee and Muskogee County put together in any bank in Cherokee and Muskogee County. There is more cash in this arena right here, guaranteed. And he said it's to your best bet that nobody knows where this location's at.
There you go.
So that's still going on now. Supposedly it's still going on now, but I mean, I don't know where it's at, but I know there's places that still sell a lot of raise a lot of broodfowl.
Yeah.
And that's what they're legally allowed to raise broodfowl, but they're fighting chickens. I don't care what anybody says, they're fighting chickens. I hauled a lot of them. Whenever I was hauling mail, I would ship those fighting chickens all the time, back and forth. So,
they have them. They have them in Hawaii too. There's chicken fighting in Hawaii.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
on the west side of the island.
What I was doing was hauling those roosters out from a particular post office near where I live, and every one of them were going to Riverside, California. We're talking hundreds a month going to Riverside, California, and so that same guy, I asked him. I said, there's a lot of chickens going to Riverside, California. He said they're being put on from there. They're getting shipped to, want to say the Philippines. From California straight over to like north of Japan. I don't know if it's Philippines or what, but they're going straight over there. And then he said, yeah, then they're fighting them over there. So
big in Philippines.
Yeah,
they're real big in the Philippines.
Yeah.
In fact, there's a guy. I don't know if he's still alive or not, but he's from Oklahoma. Considered the rock star of chicken fighting over in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Everything he sends, I actually talked to him back in, it was probably 2007. I don't know if he's still alive or not, this guy.
Yeah.
And I asked him, how do you send them? Because I was fascinated. Because, they're at the post office. The chickens are. And he said, you send an apple.
Yeah.
So he said that's the water and the food is in the apple.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And he said by the time they get across the pond or whatever to the country or wherever, he said they'll have that apple down to the nub, but they'll be alive.
Yep.
And that's how they do it.
One time, of course, those boxes all have holes in them, so they can breathe and all that. And one time, I stuck my finger up to one of those holes. That's the only time I ever did it. And that's all I'm going to say about that. It only took one time.
I bet.
Yeah. So
yeah, they're mean.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway. Well, Kenny, that's all I have. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Nope. That's about it. There's a lot happening in some politics this past week, but I don't know if we should really get into that. So
that's right.
Yeah.
Just
some about some guy pretending to be Jesus or something like that. But other than that,
Oh yeah, I heard it.
Yeah.
Someone wanted me to talk about that today, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, no. That's as far as we're going to talk about that.
I don't like mixing politics with horses, and that just degrades horses. I mean,
it does. That gives horses a bad name.
Does give horses a bad name. They can make their own bad name. They don't need the help.
Horses are crazy enough as it is. So
very much so.
Yeah,
very much so.
Well. All righty. Well, since we're talking about horses, since we're talking about the horses, we're going to send it right back to the stables because the Ponie Show is over.
Take care, everyone.
Peace out.